What if I say your clothes have been killing people? Currently, fast fashion is a worldwide problem. Fast fashion industry creates environmental issues such as water pollution, carbon emissions, and many more. Furthermore, the fast fashion industry also affects dependent countries. When I say fast fashion, what comes to your mind? Fast fashion refers to the quick manufacturing of relatively affordable and low quality clothing like Shein, Zara, Uniqlo, H&M, Mango, and many more. These brands continuously create fashion trends and get products ready for sale quickly. Fast fashion industries are destructive. The fashion industry itself damages the environment through water use, waste, and carbon emissions. Let's take an example: jeans. According to the United Nations Environment Programme, or UNEP, it takes 3,781 liters of water to make one pair of jeans. The process equates to around 33.4 kilograms of carbon emitted, like driving 111 kilometers or watching 246 hours of TV on a big screen. Now imagine when a fast fashion industry produces a ton of jeans in a short amount of time. Fast fashion brands are constantly introducing new styles, so they drive consumers to frequently purchase more apparel, then that can lead to overconsumption.
So how does fast fashion impact the environment? First, this impact comes from greenhouse gas emissions and global warming. Why? Because fast fashion contributes around 10% of global carbon emissions. That is more than the combined emissions from international flights and maritime shipping. This number is expected to increase by 50% by the year of 2030 if there is no actions are taken. Furthermore, brands use synthetic fibers like polyester, nylon, and acrylic, which take hundreds of years to biodegrade.
A 2017 report from the International Union for Conservation of Nature estimated that 35% of all microplastics, tiny pieces of non-biodegradable plastic found in the ocean, come from the laundering of synthetic textiles like polyester. The fast fashion industry has also impacted our social life. According to non-profit Remake, 80% of apparel is made by young women between the ages of 18 and 24. A 2018 U.S. Department of Labor report found evidence of forced and child labor in the fashion industry in Argentina, Bangladesh, Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, Philippines, Turkey, Vietnam, and others.
In international economy, fast fashion industries intensify the hierarchies among states. The independent countries own big fast fashion brands like H&M is from Sweden and Zara is from Spain. And the dependent countries rely on them for national income because their people work for independent countries. The people of dependent countries become the labor in fast fashion industries and got exploited by working up to 10 to 12 hours per day with low salary. Some dependent countries also supply cheap raw materials for big fast fashion industries.
It's not just about what we wear, but also about how those clothes are made and who's behind them.
Big fast fashion companies often sell their clothes at a high price. For example, you can see a piece of t-shirt that costs nearly 200,000 rupiah at big fast fashion brands. As a result, those dependent countries cannot develop their countries because their national income is low. On the other hand, independent countries that are already rich become richer. From this discussion, fast fashion industries refers to the rapid and cheap production of trendy clothing, but it significantly impacts the environment and dependent countries. It leads to environment damage and negatively impacts the labor markets of dependent countries, where low wages and poor working conditions are common.
In your opinion, what are the solution to this problem? I think, in my opinion, I think the solution needs to come from both sides, individual and systemic. As individuals like us, we can start by being more responsible with our fashion choices, like buying less and choosing better quality or supporting local and sustainable brands. It doesn't have to be perfect, but small change, I believe that small change do matter. At the same time, I believe the bigger change needs to come from the government and policymakers. For example, in Indonesia, most fast fashion brands are from abroad. So I think it's important for the governments to set clear rules or regulations, like making sure those brands meet certain environmental or ethical standards before they can operate it, not only for the environment but also the workers that work there. With both consumer awareness and stronger regulations, I believe we can create a more sustainable environment. Thank you.
Therefore, to manage this problem as a customer, we can regulate the frequency of purchasing fast fashion clothing, choosing local products to support the local economy, and thrifted clothing to reduce the textile waste.